research is critical to improving the lives of people living with dementia and their caregivers. And yet researchers are constrained by the kinds of data they can actually collect. And right now, that looks mostly like a research study, pairing with a doctor, or going through old medical files. All of these require ethics clearance, funding. They probably require the recruitment of participants and a good deal of time, energy, and money. And the reports that they actually get might be inaccurate, and they're definitely delayed. Another problem we noticed was for caregivers. Caregivers want to understand the progression of their loved one's dementia. And the reality is that there are multiple caregivers around a single person with dementia, and the insights and observations are lost between this care team. And on top of that, they're forced to communicate this to medical professionals within this care team as well. Our solution is called Spindle. Spindle is a mobile app that incentivizes caregivers to produce or provide data to researchers in a way that is standardized, longitudinal, and available in real time. The way it works is that we create a profile based around the person living with dementia. And this is set up using demographic information that researchers find useful, such as age, time since diagnosis, and care situation, living situation. And then anybody who is on that care team, which may include a doctor as well, can add a symptom, a success, or an event to this app, to this central care profile. We were careful to allow caregivers to add successes because we want it to be possible to recognize those small wins, good days, and hopeful situations in the larger picture, as well as add events such as changes in medication, changes in living situation, and caregivers, so that everybody in the care team, between caregivers and doctors, can understand the big picture around this person and improve care. So Patrick is going to walk us through a demo. Oh, sorry.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the Spindle app. And if I open it up, the first thing I see is just kind of a timeline of the patient's history. So as Delaney said, we have events, symptoms, and successes tracked across all of our caregivers for this particular patient. So if I want to report something, I can hit the compose button here, and you can see there's categories for all these. So let's say I want to report a symptom. So I'll pick from one of these top-level categories: memory, forgetting an address, or hometown. And these are categories that we got from researchers. So you can see, first of all, that now that shows up at the top of my timeline here. And then let's say there was another caregiver involved. You can see that it's synced across devices here too. So all the people on the care team can see the latest events.
So we have this, we have basic charts in place to be able to see that progress over time, and a profile, oops, sorry. A profile which shows your all of the information together across all the caregivers, so that you can see what's going on with that patient, and you can have multiple patients and multiple caregivers. So all of those caregivers could then look at their information compared to all of the other caregivers' information, and they could see, oh, okay, so when I'm with them, they're improving, but when they're with these other people, they're not improving. Let's start a really important conversation about calibrating either judgment or trying new things. And also through this demographic, we figured that we could then send information about local research studies going on, because it's really hard to find people that you're looking for in research. So demographic does that.
And just to summarize, what's great about our app is that it helps everybody involved in dementia care. It helps caregivers, it helps improve the communication with institutional caregivers and the people actually experiencing dementia, and all of this in such a way that is consumable by research, in a way that's standardized over time and providing real-time data. So it bridges this communication barrier throughout the care team and builds hope by tracking the successes that you do see and building that into the overall timeline, because that's such an important part of the picture.
Thank you very much.
Do you guys see this as a destination, an app that people will be downloading themselves, or do you see it as potentially powering the back end for other research groups or different health units or people who are
so this, what's actually really awesome about this is that we came at this from the research angle. We wanted to produce that standardized data that is useful and with a huge user base But we knew that we had to make this valuable for caregivers. And what we accidentally ended up doing was creating a really great communication tool for understanding the holistic care profile of somebody with dementia. And so that would be its own value that the care team would actually get, which would in a way be entirely separate from the researchers. But they would both just kind of be chugging along, creating value in two parallel tracks. So it would be found by caregivers and could be promoted through hospitals or different dementia-related programs, or promoted when you get into a research study, for example. Yeah.
How can you ensure that the events that are being recorded are, you talk about being standardized, so how would you get consistent observations?
So we actually picked from the research that's out there today, the main things that people look for when they're manually tracking things, or there's a lot of symptom tracking apps out there, and so we looked at what they looked at too, which was backed by research. And so we started off with that standard set, and one of the next steps we talked about was actually providing custom input so that researchers could go through and look at everything so this is currently only standardized. And so you could then add custom input if something's not in there, and you could actually see by parsing all of that data, okay, so a lot of people are saying this is a symptom. We didn't know that would be related to dementia, but a lot of people are inputting it. So we should then add it to the API so that they can use it and also start looking into this symptom. So that's something that we wanted to do.
And one thing I'll just add, in speaking with a few researchers on the first day, it was clear that the difficulty in getting this data is kind of teaching caregivers how to recognize a symptom. And so the symptoms that we included were based on a caregiver advocate's chart that they used for managing and tracking symptoms. And they're quite high level and very easy to understand. So things like memory, my person I'm caring for forgot an important address, or a name, or they're misplacing things. So they're high level enough that you can really tell that it's happening.
Thank you very much.